Hello and welcome back to the HUD Gaming. We're here with Heads Up episode number 36. I'm Mark Acevedo.
I'm Joel Torres, aka Joey with the Biz.
And I'm Justin Torres. And before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe and leave a review on iTunes if you're listening.
Get right into it.
God damn.
All right, and that's all we have for our paid promotion. And the actual show, we've got a stacked show. We are running a little bit late this week, so we apologize for that. But reason being, the Game Awards were on Thursday.
Woo!
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that we got to talk about. PlayStation State of Play happened on Tuesday, and then we also have some other news stories which were sprinkled in, as well as a movie review, which will be coming. But first, and maybe most importantly, is Joey's Cards of Conversation.
This is the most important part of my week, honestly. This is the only thing that I plan out, and I don't even plan out, because I just pick these cards randomly, and I read the question, and we answer it all here.
Yeah, but it's got a cute little clear case. We've upgraded from our first cards for our first pack of
These
cards.
actually are kind of like interesting cards. Like this one.
Let's see what we got.
Whenever you are having a bad day, what is the best thing you can do to help cheer yourself up?
Go to sleep. Es lo que es.
I like to just put a belt around my neck and
Jesus Christ.
I mean, how tight? Probably video games. I mean, it sounds like a cop-out, but honestly...
wow, you fucking nerd.
No, video games playing it by myself actually make me feel worse.
Really?
Yeah, if I play it by myself,
First of all, he goes hidden and then he looks at all his friends not playing with him and he's like, nobody likes me. I see the shadows in my room.
Rip Juice WRLD.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
So yeah, what do you guys do when you are down besides playing video games?
I listen to podcasts. That's what keeps me throughout my week.
That's what keeps you alive.
Yeah, that's what keeps me alive. On the podcasts.
I think certain podcasts definitely, like the History of Hyenas podcast, always puts me in a good mood, regardless of like what type of mood I'm in. But like usually when I feel bad, I'm pretty sure you two can attest to it. I like to just soak in it. I really don't like to get out of it. I like to just like burrow in the sadness.
Like to just lay in the tub until the toaster
exactly.
falls in.
I probably should work on getting out of it, but I mean, because playing games, like Justin said, doesn't really do much for me because
I don't know. I guess the sappy
sometimes
part
it's a solitary experience.
is obviously like friends like make you feel better and stuff.
Going
but
out always does too. Like
minus that kind of like sad shit. I don't know. Video games always work for me. If I'm feeling like it's an easy escape, that or a movie. Like getting home from work or from school and being like, man, I don't really want to deal with that anymore. Being like, what's gonna help me? Well, if I sink like 6 hours into my PlayStation, I'm not gonna be thinking about anything else except my forklift races in Shenmue. So. And I got to go to work in Shenmue, so like I got shit I got to deal with.
You're right.
What a better way to escape work than to go into virtual work?
Yeah, the virtual work.
And race forklifts.
Okay. So Justin, you have nothing that gets you out of your sadness?
Yeah, I said podcasts.
Podcast? Yeah, podcast for me probably. Podcast and going out. Going out always makes me feel good. Like going out with my friends.
Yeah, I try to spend
always a good time.
Like, I've been trying to spend
minimal
more time
time
with
solo.
with like Joelle and my family more. It's just like and then listening to loud music.
That's a good song.
Listening to loud music also.
Well, yeah, music. Yeah, music helps a lot. Okay, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I kind of always have music playing, so I guess I didn't think about that.
You just like play like Remo Drive and just start screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play art school.
Okay, but off of
if
that,
anyone is interested in a HUD Gaming Spotify playlist, we thought about doing it, but we haven't yet. If anyone's interested in it,
I was
we'll
thinking
put
about
all
doing
our
that
stuff in
because we sneak peek behind the scenes BTS footage. We play music before like the show, so. I was thinking about
we
that.
listen to music too.
We listen to music surprisingly.
No, but I would think the music we listen to specifically for the show, we could probably put that in a playlist.
Yeah, maybe some.
And then people would maybe somebody would be interested in seeing like what we like, because I think we have a pretty diverse music taste between me and you.
That's true.
And you just like whatever we like.
Yeah, basically.
To some degree.
You're just like a cum dumpster, and
we like
fill you up.
We like everything, dude. Like it's kind of, I'm just gonna ignore what you said, but we kind of like all sorts of music.
You're saying
like,
we like everything after that didn't help.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Yeah,
but yeah, getting out of the dumpster. I lost in my football pick of last week. I picked the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Rams, and they ended up getting fucked on Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson did not pull through for me, so I was a little upset about that. But this week, I got a guarantee win of the week. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -5 playing the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are like under third string quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, I like Jameis Winston. He kind of like balls out. He's definitely going to throw for like 4 touchdowns and like 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
But they will win by a touchdown.
But it's all right. Even if you lost last week and you don't have your kneecaps, we have new seats. No more fold-out chairs. We're moving up. Holy shit,
going up,
boys!
boys.
Chairs comfortable. We built them before the episode.
Yeah, we bought these seats after I placed
Joel
that
didn't
bet,
help.
and now we're in the red.
Now we're in the red.
He handed you some parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was sitting there mostly. Just he was,
Also,
he was
we're
the
wearing
DJ.
Christmas hats for the holidays.
Yeah, holiday season, and we know we got to be a little bit more festive since we're getting closer to the actual holidays. So, in 4D Smell-O-Vision, we've got a Christmas tree flavored candle for you,
and a little like ornament at the front.
and
of
a
the
little
table.
Santa right here,
So check it out on the
And a
YouTube.
huge crucifix of Jesus Christ.
just to celebrate it.
Just
get
to
that
celebrate.
Honorable mention on Steam, coming soon. We will have a trailer for I Am Jesus Christ, the game.
We will have a trailer?
we will be.
I'm
in
gonna
the
say
trailer.
we make the trailer? No, there's just a trailer for a
Yeah,
game.
no, there's a trailer.
Wait, is it
for-
out?
It'll be linked
No,
in
it's
the
it's
description.
coming out.
We'll
I don't know
link-
when, but it's a trailer for
coming
a
out
game
December
called I Am Jesus
25th.
Christ. No, it's not.
It's coming out as it should.
It's
Yeah.
gonna come out limited
Yo,
time,
it
go
should.
away, and then come back.
It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out for a day, and then it'll come back. It'll go offline for 3 days, and then come back
Yeah.
and take over the world and cause wars.
No, it should come back on. It should come back
Whoa.
on Easter. On
Hmm.
Easter Day, that'd be cool.
It should come
No,
back.
have either of you seen that trailer?
I've
seen it.
How many of you know who Jesus is?
That trailer's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's
like
weird
you
because
feel like
the
the
game is
person,
weird.
like, without the.
Because it's not trying to be funny. It's like trying to be like a real. Like it doesn't. It's like, it seems
It
like
doesn't look like a real game, but I know it is.
it doesn't look. It looks like a game that's like I heard somebody say this. It looks like a game that like a movie would like say a game is. Like you know when
where,
you
like,
watch
when they
Grandma
have the
Boy.
controllers too, and they're just like slapping every
Yeah,
button,
yeah.
and it looks so like they're not playing anything.
Yeah.
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 That's how Justin plays games. 'cause
It is
he's
kind of
trash.
weird though. You saw like the little life bar on the side, and like he's like healing everyone, and then
Yeah,
he
and
ends
it's
up,
just the
like,
hands. Kind of looks like it could be a VR game or something.
yeah, and then he ends up dying, and then he
You
revives
are
himself
Jesus
by
Christ.
getting out of the tomb.
Yeah.
It's all in the trailer. I'm not spoiling
I
anything.
wonder what the achievements
I
are.
mean,
for
you
that.
really can't spoil the story of Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's been around for
He's
a while.
just in the Christmas spirit. That's all. But we're here to talk about the Game Awards.
Yeah. My Jesus Christ, Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley. No, not Jeff Keighley. What's his name?
Yeah, Jeff Keighley.
It is Jeff Keighley? Okay.
Yeah.
He hosts the Game Awards. For the past 5 years, he's been doing it independently. This year, I thought, just top level before we dive into the news, I thought he did a really good job. What do you
Mhm.
think, Justin? Because me and Justin watched it. Mark was working.
That was
'cause
the
he
yeah, I
main
was
guy.
at work.
That's the main guy, right?
Yeah, the main guy that was doing the did all
Yeah, I
that.
liked him. I told Joel that.
Yeah,
He's very
they-
good.
I literally mentioned it like in the middle of the live stream that I was like, dude, he's really good with like communicating with like a bunch of different like personalities,
Especially developers. Sometimes developers
yeah,
they
like,
come from different
like, some
countries.
people
They
are,
don't
like,
even speak.
awkward and stuff
some-
like that, and like
yeah.
he's really good with like handling that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean, to a certain degree, when you're a host, like especially like him, when you're doing something so long and you're like it's
Yeah, yeah.
televised and stuff, you have to be ready for like. Well, you could see it especially with like other like talk show hosts.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like the guests, they might be really good at speaking, or they might not be, and you can kind of tell like which hosts are good with it and which aren't.
Yeah,
It's, like-
Sometimes you might get a Joaquin Phoenix and wants to murder you halfway through the interview.
that's what
But that's
I'm
what I'm saying.
saying.
Sometimes some people get like awkward. Like if you watch like the Joaquin Phoenix and you see like Jimmy Fallon or no, it was Jimmy Kimmel.
But-
where he kind of gets like a little weird there. Like
I was
I
gonna
feel like
say
that never
too,
really happened with him.
like a side tangent that's worth like just bringing up and discussing like quickly is like, I mean, with the talk show hosts too, you can see which ones are good and which ones aren't good. Like Jimmy Fallon's like way of
Yeah.
getting through it is to just like laugh and like slap the table and be like, oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm gonna laugh my
I like
30
Jimmy
years of my
Fallon.
career away. Yeah, he's okay.
He's fine.
Conan's better.
Conan is better, but the best one out of all of them, underrated, is Craig Ferguson.
Mm.
He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I watch like old clips of his like Tonight Show host because that's the type
Mm.
of loser I am.
But when you see all that stuff like with Jeff Keighley and all the different developers during like E3 conferences and all of that, they are from all over the place.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't very good at speaking. I don't know if you remember.
Some of them are nervous too. Like
Some
when
of
they
them
hold
are
the mic,
very
like, they don't
nervous.
have to look at the camera or look at him, and he's
Also,
Yeah.
like it's a huge fucking stadium.
I don't know if
Yeah.
any of you remember this, but from one of the E3s a couple of years ago, when the game like Yarny, I don't remember.
Oh,
the
yeah,
game.
I know you're
Oh yeah,
talking
and he
about.
held like the little doll.
Unravel.
There, and it was
No,
kind of
Unravel.
awkward.
Unravel.
Unravel.
And the guy
For
was
the-
super nervous,
Yes,
right?
for
I
Unravel
felt
1.
bad for him. Though.
Yeah, he came on stage with the Yarny thing, and he was just like shaking, like he just had it, and he was just
I
like,
feel so bad.
you could see his hand shaking too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was excited, whatever, like
Yeah.
it's a good game, but he was
Yeah, I guess
he was
so.
freaking out.
What?
I mean, whatever, you know.
But yeah, so Jeff Keighley did a great job. I think overall, top level. Before we dive into the details, the Game Awards was very good.
Mm.
Elon
I think-
Musk was there.
Elon Musk was there supporting his girlfriend Grimes. The musical performances were not that bad this year.
Hmm.
Because
Oh, that was his girlfriend that was singing at the beginning.
yes, bro. That's why I kept on trying to tell you. Grimes
That's why
is-
whenever we talk about how Elon Musk has the goth thing, it's Grimes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that's what the girl's name was.
Dude,
Yeah,
Singing.
she's that's her like artist name. I'm sure that's not like her real name.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nobody knows.
I still didn't know. That's cool. I didn't
So
know.
Church
She has
has
pretty
opened
good
the show
music,
by
though.
doing a song from Death Stranding, which it was kind of cool. I'd like the performance.
It's
Church
probably
is-
the song Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I liked like their first album, but you said like that the other
Their first album and
has
then-
not been that good.
They have some other good songs though, too
Okay.
though. Like
song was
Never
okay.
Say Die is pretty good. It was in Forza Horizon 4.
Mhm.
So like their soundtracks are always pretty fire.
Yeah, so they opened that performance. It was really good. I liked it.
Hmm.
Grimes did a thing that was incorporated with Cyberpunk, so that was really cool visually. But I don't know like how good it was for people that were watching it because a lot of it was like cutting away to a video that you saw of you streaming, and then Green Day was like near the end,
Damn, they had a lot of people there.
and that was a little bit of an awkward one.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Green Day one.
It was a
passed
good
out.
Green Day put on a good performance, but it's like the people aren't like it's like they're the Green Day's like more like punk rock, like it's like an energy kind of thing. It's not like you just watch them. Like
Yeah,
you
was
ca-
everyone
you
just
have to,
like sitting down looking at them,
everybody
or was
just-
like
no, they're just all standing and like looking at them. I'm like, bro, you gotta like dance and like
You have to, like, get into
You
it.
have to get into it. So that was that. I guess that was a little awkward from like the audience perspective, but you didn't really notice it that much. But you did notice that the lead singer. What is the lead singer? Is that Billy Joel? Not Billy. No.
It's not Billy Joel.
No, but his name is Joel. I know who Billy Joel is.
But it's not Billy Joel.
His name is Joel, though, I believe.
Maybe, I don't know.
His name is Joel.
I don't know a lot about Green Day.
But yeah, so that performance was pretty. And then like I said, the musical performance was pretty good. Unlike the ones I thought last year, where they did like the Doom shit, and I didn't like that much.
I liked the Doom shit. I didn't like the other stuff though.
Yeah. Oh no, because they had fucking Ray Schremer, or was that 2 years ago?
I don't remember.
Remember that when they had those?
I know they had an artist that like I had no clue who it was. It was like a. It was like a. No.
Joel Armstrong.
Oh, so you were right, Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Mark.
But you said it's not. You said Billy Joel.
Yeah, you
It's
said
not
Joel.
Billy Joel.
Whatever.
No, but they had an artist last year for the Game Awards that was like from a like Northern European country. I don't know if it was like Sweden, Finland, or like
They're all the same.
that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. So like they just said that, and I was like, okay, I don't know who these people are, like Fjorn and Bjorn and whatever. So
Bjorn
then
and Bjorn.
Fjorn and Bjorn. So then they started
Isn't
playing.
Bjorn a real artist?
Bjorn is a real art.
Yeah.
No, is
It's
it
Bjorn,
Bjorn or
I
is it
believe.
Bjork?
It's like BJOCK or
Well,
B,
yeah.
something like that.
I don't know,
Whatever.
something like that.
But let's
she
get
was
in-
not there.
She was not there to this
It
Game
was,
Awards.
It was Fjorn and Bjorn, not the important one.
Let's go to the top level of the Game Awards. I'm gonna just run down 4 of like the major awards. We're gonna link down in the description where you can go see all the awards if you want to
Yeah.
go look individually. But
We know
obviously-
we know you got a busy day ahead of you, and you're listening to this in your car or before you go to sleep. And we're not gonna waste your time. You want to hear all the nitty and gritty details? We'll link it down below for you to read.
But so we're starting off with Game of the Year, which is a
Which is-
shocker.
For the game awards, is very important.
Yeah, for the Game Awards Game of the Year, they said that Shadows Die
Shakira.
Twice. Shakira,
Shakira, shake that ass twice.
Shakira hips don't lie twice. No, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice won Game of the Year, which is a From Software game.
Yeah.
It was published by Activision. And I was kind of shocked, to be honest. I thought that this was going to I thought it was going to go to Resident Evil 2, and then I saw IGN announce Control. So I was like, oh, maybe that could be.
I guess it's not too surprising, but we did talk about how Jeff Keighley was in Death Stranding, so you're like, maybe he
I didn't think he was going to win Game of the Year, but he was going to get some awards, and he does get Hideo Kojima does get a pretty prominent award.
Mm.
But yeah, so that was pretty interesting pick for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of like I think that's a reflection. Not saying Sekiro is a bad game, but that's a reflection that this year was kind of a weaker year.
yeah, and I haven't tried it, so you can shoot me in the comments if you want.
I'll just shoot you in real life.
Something we'll also discuss while we're talking about that is like I guess we'll get back to it when we discuss the other games, but
Okay,
yeah.
But so yeah, Sekiro won Game of the Year. Best Game Direction went to Death Stranding from Kojima Productions and published by Sony. This was a pretty big award. I was surprised that they won it, to be honest.
But who else would have won it?
Control, Sekiro, basically all the Game of the Year noms.
I feel like story-wise, though, I don't know Sekira's. I'm not gonna call it Sekiro. Shakira. I don't know how
Shakira.
important Shakira's story is, but
It's more of
Like,
it's not a, those games. The
Death
Souls
Stranding
games
really
are
like
not.
builds like a world.
The Souls games I think are more lore based. They're not necessarily overt storytelling.
yeah.
It's more like subtle storytelling, from what I've heard.
I just know it couldn't be. Control builds a world too. I just didn't think.
I thought Control was gonna win this game.
I didn't think the primary narrative was that.
but they do
special
win an
in it.
award that I think they should have won anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, best game direction. It's kind of a weird award, anyways.
Yeah. it
So
is.
like they
For
gave
those
it.
that are of the less hardcore, they probably wouldn't even care to know
Yeah.
that.
Like last year, the Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe, won this award.
Mm.
So
Which one?
best game direction. And then best narrative. I've heard a lot about this game. I actually want to play it now. I don't know if you've heard about it. Disco Elysium.
I have seen the reviews for it.
And it's very highly rated, and everybody who's played it talks about it like as being a game of the year nom.
yeah.
So yeah, they won best narrative, and it's from a small independent studio in Sweden, I believe.
Yeah, I
and,
know it's an indie title, and I know it came out pretty recently.
and the studio's
Just in-
name is
just in time for the
ZA
awards.
/UM. I thought
Bjorn and Bjorn.
yeah, I went to go see if like there's their initials for something, but I couldn't find it. They just
Mm-hmm.
kept on saying ZA/UM. So
All right.
that one best narrative, and then best art direction went to Control, which
Control,
I think
yeah.
is very,
I was
very
gonna try-
deserving.
I was
That game
gonna
has a
try-
very strong aesthetic.
It does. I was gonna try to guess that. Yeah, the very like cement, almost like this kind of look. The sound pads kind of look all
Yeah,
over
it does
the
have like
place.
that rigid, like very like angles. Yeah, sharp angles.
Sharp, yeah. Sharp
and
gray.
Control was made by Remedy Games, obviously, and published by 505 Studios.
Yeah, it was definitely a very pretty game to look at.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see, like, the things that they wear in it. I forget what they're actually called, but like the vests that keep you safe from what's going on. I forget what they call. They look like
the
they have
hist,
like
the thing that keeps you from the hist.
yeah. It kind of looks like they're wearing like subwoofers. Like
I'm gonna say yeah, it looks like
the
you're wearing a
big things.
beatbox.
Yeah, but it's really cool to see like the way that their outfits are, the like armors that they wear, the buildings, how like things move around as you're like clearing.
I love
the
her
points.
final outfit you get when you become director.
Yeah, that's what's cool
Spoilers
too,
for
though.
Control.
And when you become director and you do all the stuff, you get the gold suit.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, so you get the navy suit,
Mhm.
and then you get a gold suit if you do more stuff.
I like the navy suit. I like her little hairpin too.
Yeah.
Nice touches.
Mhm.
So those were the biggest awards I thought personally. If you want to go look again into all the nitty gritties like best action game and all that
Yeah.
stuff, we'll link it down below. But
Let
let's
us
get
know if you thought Shakira Shake That Ass Twice is
Game
worth
of the
getting
year.
Game of the Year.
to the announcements, and there were some very consequential announcements in this Game Awards. None bigger than Microsoft unveiling the new Xbox
Mm-hmm.
for the next gen called Xbox Series X.
So forget Project Scarlet, Series X. That's the next gen Xbox.
First of all, just before we go like more into the details, what do you think about the name
Series X?
Series X? How do you feel about it?
I'm not super into
I like
it.
that it kept Xbox,
Yeah.
and I like it because it preaches their idea that they've been saying that you're gonna be able to play all the games on your Xbox
Mhm.
One that you have now. So
Yeah.
it kind of has a familial.
It has
name.
like a continuity
yeah, it
to
has
it.
a continuity with the naming conventions
Yeah.
of it. Obviously, PlayStation with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 does too, but this one feels more like there's not like rigid lines. It's more
Mhm.
fluid, which I
So-
think this generation is going to be more fluid.
Yeah.
I like it too because also it looks way different than all the other Xboxes. So it's like, it's
I'm
like
not a huge fan of the fact that it looks like a desktop, which you can look up a picture for it. The only reason why I say that
Apparently,
is
it's
just
not
a
as big as
rectangle.
you think it is, though.
it's just because it's rectangular. That's what, like, I guess you're right. I don't know the scale of it.
I saw pictures of
well,
it.
the
and it's not that
controller compared to it looks like it's probably only this tall to be honest.
Mhm.
big. Yeah.
It looks still like a little box.
Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, what do you think about the name, Justin? Xbox Series X.
It's called Xbox Series X or Series X.
I mean, I'm sure it's
Xbox
called Xbox Series
Series
X.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I like the Series X.
My
I don't
favorite thing about it is that the console actually looks like a box.
It does. My
Yeah.
thing with it is I'm trying to think, like, well, they're going to have other versions of it. So what are they going to call those? Are they going to say, like, Series
Series
X2? Series
They're probably
X,
gonna put, like,
X?
Series X.
Are we going to get a Series XXX? Like, what?
XXX
How are they
expansion.
doing their naming conventions? Also, in terms of the way it looks, I do think the green that's inside the vents on top is a super nice touch.
I like that.
Yeah.
I did like that a lot. And regardless of its naming or the way it looks, I think it's already off to a much better start and looks way better than the VCR Xbox One did, the original.
Oh,
when that
yeah,
came out
definitely.
in 2013, because that looked bad. It was bad presentation, didn't have good press going into it. So I think they're already...
Speaking of the good press, as soon as this was announced, they released like a letter that Phil Spencer wrote talking about the Xbox on their website. And I just pulled a few quotes from it. like I was telling you before the show started, he did say that the console supports horizontal and vertical. So you can have it sideways. I know when everybody saw it, when I saw it, I thought it was an Xbox PC at first before it was revealed as being a new console. I was like, oh shit, they're making like a whole PC now. So yeah, you can have it sideways or up, but it looks like it's gonna be a vertical console. It doesn't really look like it would look good horizontal. But
and I was saying that's because like when you look at pictures of it, the actual Xbox logo is as if you were to have it standing up.
And also, it's like the disc go like this.
Yeah.
But I guess that supports more horizontal look.
But I just saying because you can't twist it. And I was saying how, like, for the PS2, you could switch the symbol, and on the early gen PS3s, you could too. So for me, like, those made sense that you could have it vertical standing or not. I mean, PS4s, you can have vertical standing. I'm doing this because we have our Jet Engine Classic over here.
Mocha is her name.
Mocha is the name of the PlayStation, but there's no logo on it, so to me, I don't know. I just like the way it looks flat because you can see the logo and it just looks more natural.
Yeah, and some other little details about it. It is 4 times stronger than the Xbox One X, which is already the most powerful console on the market.
I was gonna say that's one thing that I actually don't like about the name Xbox Series X because they already have an Xbox One X.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same, and nobody's gonna actually get those mixed up. But I think
I feel like
too
people
similar.
like that are not tuned in might get it confused.
Yeah,
the names are super close
because the name is pretty much X. First
of all, they fucked up with 360.
I thought Project Scarlet was a good name. Yeah, maybe take off the project. I get that, but I feel like Xbox Scarlet's a cool name.
It is a cool name, but it doesn't tie into the family. Like this is not.
That's
like,
true,
like
but
I said,
Nintendo doesn't do that kind of stuff. Nintendo's like, here's a GameCube, here's a Wii, here's the Switch. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Switch makes sense for its functionality, and GameCube obviously makes sense because it's a cube.
But they make
the consoles all look very different. Yeah, and like said, they all do.
They're not like continuations of them. Like the new Switch, it's still called like the Switch, right, or whatever, like with the V2 or whatever. Yeah, like.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. I see.
Those are all different things.
Valid.
Yeah. And then another quote that I wanted to pull that was very reminiscent of PlayStation in the beginning of PS4's generation, and the opposite of how Xbox One launched. Was a quote was saying, "Our belief that a gaming console should be for just that, gaming." I saw that and I was like, "Oh, that's really good. Like that's a good way to be like doubling down on games and being like, this is what this is for.
This is not Xbox One."
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then also about the controller. It looks very similar. They did say that they switched it up a little bit ergonomically to fit wider use of hands or size or some shit like that.
Those fat American hands.
Those fat American hands.
Cheeseburger fingers.
They do have a share button on the thing, and the dual pad, the D-pad, which is traditionally very bad on Xbox controllers, is more reminiscent of the Elite style dual pad
because it has more directions on it.
It has more. It's like the 8 directional thing. So the D-pad is more like the Elite controller. So I wonder if that means that the pricing of that controller is going to be up.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you'll get one packaged in. So
obviously you get one package,
depending on how like durable it is, you might not even need one for a long time.
Yeah. So overall, like this reveal was really cool. Did you see the trailer?
I did see the trailer.
That trailer was fucking
dope.
That
trailer did look really nice, and if that it did say all of that gameplay or in-game stuff was like captured on it.
Yeah.
So like,
it looks beautiful. God, Mark, don't die on me.
I do have a question though. Does it still have batteries?
Does it still have batteries? I don't know. That has not been confirmed. Question. That is a very important question.
Well, they showed the box, but I'm sure they didn't show all the details. Like, did they give a price point? I didn't see anything.
No,
price.
Nothing like
That's what I'm saying. They showed the box.
No.
Also, did they show that? And I'm saying this because I didn't watch the Game Awards because I was busy at the time. But did somebody bring it out?
Like, no.
Okay,
it was just a video.
It was just all video.
Okay,
and then Phil Spencer did talk about it.
So it's conceptual because when they unveiled the PS4, it was straight up. They brought it out onto the stage.
Yeah,
and I liked that. So that's what I was.
But this wasn't a specialized event. This is just a little. Tease.
Well, still though, I mean, showing that's still like
the guy still the guy should have walked out at least with like the box in his hand.
I don't show my box unless it's a power move. You know what I mean? So like,
you can see my box. My DMs are open at Joey with the Biz.
They did it. They did it for a reason.
Yeah, and then right after this, they announced a brand new game coming to Xbox One exclusively, or Xbox Series X. I gotta get used to saying that now. Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2.
Whoa, wait. This is an exclusive?
Yes, because I'm going to talk. We're going to break it down. This is an exclusive because remember, Ninja Theory was recently purchased by Xbox.
Okay.
So this is now an exclusive studio. So this game is now coming exclusively to the Xbox consoles and PC.
Okay.
So you're gonna be able to play it on PC, but when it comes to console side of things, it's gonna be an Xbox exclusive.
All right, so see, that's how they get me.
Yeah.
That's my in. With my Xbox that I have right now, I have an Xbox One S. Is for Forza. This will be my in because for the first one for Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, I played the shit out of it on my PlayStation, platinumed it on my PlayStation. But
I was wondering if they're gonna make this game multi-platform because Xbox is definitely more lenient they're more lenient with their titles. Like they have their flagship Halo series on PC now, which I don't ever see.
It's smart for them to not be lenient about it. Because you need to have good exclusives to make people stay on your system.
Oh no, I don't. They were. What I'm saying is they were lenient in this generation. I don't think they're going to be lenient because they're going to win. They're going to try to win now.
I think it's better to do it to not be.
Yeah, this definitely sold me on the Xbox because I want to play Halo Infinite. I'm not like a hardcore Halo fan. I'm kind of like a lapsed Halo fan. Like I enjoyed the first 3 and Reach a lot, but I haven't really. I played 4, but I wasn't that crazy about it. I never played 5. So I'm interested to play the new Infinite, which looks really good. It seems to be like a soft reboot, I think I've heard them say. And this game, Senua's Saga, have you seen the trailer for it?
I did see the trailer for it.
It's fucking intense.
Yeah.
That shit was kind of
scary. The first one
was
fucking good. I know you haven't played it yet, but
I know this made me want to play it because I was like, yeah, this is crazy. I want to see that.
Yeah, it's a good game.
From playing the game, do you see consequences of the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you see her journey in the first one. Yeah. And
because she seems completely different because she was very more timid in the trailers and stuff I saw the first one. And this one I was like, yo, she's wild.
She is changed over her journey, and even the way she looks, like the face paint and all of that. So, like if you haven't played that game, it is worth picking up. It's pretty cheap. I mean,
it's $20, right?
Yeah, and it launched at a lower price anyway because it's technically made by a not AAA studio.
It was more of like a AA product, but it was a lot of people.
But the game pretty much ends up being like competitive with AAA games. I think it was super good. It's like a nice, like quick little third-person story.
And it kind of, I think, flew under the radar because it came out last year or 2 years ago.
It came out 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and the last 2 years in gaming have been like fucking amazing. So it kind of fell under the radar because we just have been smashing hits in 2017. And
I remember playing it. With the Colin Moriarty special, eating pizza with orange juice. I remember playing Hellblade.
That's a Colin Moriarty special,
isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
I thought that was something he liked.
Here, let me text him. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I guess that is. I never heard that.
I feel like you told me that.
Maybe I did. I've listened to so much of his podcast that I probably know like so many weird facts about like him and Greg, and it's like kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, you just
listen to thousands of hours.
People know weird stuff because we're just talking and talking.
That sounds super acidic. That sounds like a heartburn waiting to fucking happen.
Yeah, but regardless of that, the point is just I remember playing that game and enjoying it a lot. And also the game depicts like mental illness in a very, I guess, scientifically correct way.
Yeah.
Like included in the game, there's extras about like dev diaries talking about like what research they did and who they talked to like develop the game, because it's her and like kind of the voices in her head telling her what to do. And I guess to people who have to deal with that kind of stuff, they said it is represented in like an accurate way.
Yeah,
so
it is.
If that's interesting to you, like it's cool.
So moving on, the next game that had revealed at the Game Awards was actually the first PlayStation 5 game confirmed. It's called Godfall. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this game. It's a Gearbox published game made by a studio called Counterplay Games. The way they described the game was as a looter melee combat game. So like, you think like Borderlands is like a looter shooter. So it's kind of like that. It's Godfall. So it's kind of like these like Nordic gods you're playing as. We didn't see much gameplay from it. It was a cinematic trailer. But the interesting thing about it is at the end of the trailer is that you saw PlayStation 5.
Like as a logo?
Yeah. No, they just said PlayStation 5. It wasn't the PlayStation logo. And this game is confirmed to be a exclusive, but I don't know what they mean by that. It might be like a yearly thing or timely thing, but as of right now, they're not confirming it like they always do in the beginning. But it is confirmed to be a PlayStation exclusive on launch.
Okay.
And also on PC. So that's an interesting game. At least we know now we're getting one game when the console launches. And then after that, Bravely Default 2 was announced for Nintendo Switch. They got to show the Switch some love. So they started off with like a major announcement from all three of the gaming manufacturers. It's coming in the Switch. It's coming to the Switch in 2020. They didn't give like a hard date or seasonal time.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, Bravely Default 2, I learned, is the third game in the series. The second game was called Bravely Second.
That's weird, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
this is kind of a weird thing.
Titling.
Yeah, it's a weird game. It's a JRPG, they get a little weird. And then after that, we had a game called Weird West. Speaking of weird, this game is made by a studio called Wolf Studios, who is comprised of the co-creators of Prey and Dishonored.
Okay.
It is a top-down action RPG.
Prey original or Prey?
I think Prey from Bethesda because it's
Okay.
Prey and Dishonored.
Gotcha.
So these are former Arcane Studio guys.
Mm.
It's published by Devolver Digital. It's a top-down action RPG. This game actually looks really cool. This actually looks like a good Switch game.
Mm-hmm.
The art style is very like cool. The setting, I don't know if it's like futuristic or like the actual Western times, but it seems a little interesting. It's different from Prey and Dishonored in the fact that it's like a hardcore like kind of RPG. Those games are more of like third 3D games,
Mm.
and this is a top down. Moving on, this was a weird one. League of Legends is having a spin-off. I don't know if you saw this. Actually, they announced 2 spin-off games. One is a platformer, and this one is a strategy turn-based RPG called...
A platformer is weird. That sounds weird.
Yeah, and both of those League of Legends spin-offs are coming to consoles.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. The one that's a strategy RPG is called Ruined King, a League of Legends story. It's a turn-based RPG. I don't think those really translate well to console, but I think they just want to expand their market, especially seeing with like Overwatch doing so well and that being mostly
and Overwatch
PC.
2 not really being a sequel, but them still making it.
It's gonna have single player content, so that's kind of interesting.
I know. I don't know. It's just weird.
So yeah, that came out. League of Legends for you fucking dorks. You fucking get excited. Don't worry. There's some nerdy shit I'm gonna get excited about later on. There's this new game from based on the Dungeons and Dragons license called Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance.
I hope it's not this shit. Otherwise, you're gonna be categorized with them too.
No, it's not. And it's a spiritual. It is a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, and the only thing I noted was that the trailer was shot very poorly. This is the trailer where it had the guys that were like running. And it was like they were running. No, I'm being dead ass.
I know, but just the way that looked.
It was a pretty bad trailer.
It was a really bad trailer. Like, go look this up. This Dungeons and Dragons trailer. I'm not saying the game is gonna be bad, but the trailer was weird because it was like a camera's like in front of them, and
Was it like live action or like animated?
It was animated them running. It looks stupid.
I don't even know what the game is about.
You know what it looks like? It looks like when you're playing a first-person game, and then they give you that option to like look at the game from a camera angle, and then you're like, oh, their animations all look stupid because they didn't think about animating it like correctly.
Like Fallout in third person.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Like a cinematic kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So get excited for that.
Tried to.
They didn't have a
Get
release.
excited for that, you nerds.
They didn't have a release date for that, you fucking Dungeons and Dragons dorks. But hopefully, roll your dice up your ass and you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So PlayerUnknown's Battleground. The PlayerUnknown's is the name of the studio. The guy's next game is called The Prologue, as we know so far. It was just a 30-second teaser. It's just you're in this forest. It looks around, and then boom, flash, playprologue.com. And I went to go play prologue.com, and I was like, ooh, maybe I might be able to play like a little, like it might be like a PT kind of thing. Nope, they just want you to sign up for their fucking subscription.
Like email and stuff.
Yeah, email and shit. So I was a little disappointed with that. It's just a teaser. It's the interesting thing is that it's the new game from the PUBG creator.
Is it a battle royale game or is it stupid?
It seems to be single player based, but to be honest, I can't
is
tell
it the Prologue 2, the Battlegrounds?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I'm asking. I don't know. I mean, that
might be
really
it,
make
though.
sense because that's a multiplayer.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, and they can make
Is there any lore behind that? By the way, I've never played PUBG.
I don't know. I've never
Is there
played
any
PUBG
lore?
either.
I never even opened it.
I think there's a battle royale movie. That was the background for the game.
Well, I mean, that's the background for all of it.
Was it called Battle Royale, the Japanese movie?
Yeah, battle royale.
Yeah, that was a good movie. That was an intense movie.
It was an intense movie.
But yeah, so there wasn't that much news. I was a little disappointed when I went on the website because I thought I was going to get more information.
At least like a homepage with some more details.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a link to the teaser trailer.
To their sign-in, yeah.
Yeah. So I signed up for their emails. I'll let you know what they fucking email me.
Yeah.
And some interesting release dates we got. We got Ori and the Will of the Wisp, which is an Xbox One exclusive, coming out March 11th. Control the Foundation expansion comes out March 26th.
Did they give a trailer with that or no?
They did give a trailer with
Okay.
it. It's more Control.
All right.
I don't really know what... I have to see reviews and see like what it like dives into and stuff like that. But I think for both Ori and the Control release dates, March is a very bad time because that is where Cyberpunk will be dominating.
And Doom Eternal will finally come
And
out.
Doom Eternal will be dominating. Avengers is going to be somewhere in there. May, Last of Us 2. So that's... I would have tried to get stuff out in January, February, which looked to be very empty as of right now.
Yeah, they do.
And then Gears Tactics, which is a turn-based strategy RPG for the Gears of War series, kind of like a Halo Wars thing, but Gears of War style. It's coming out April 28th.
I don't know if you saw my facial expression, but
it looks interesting. We're not turn-based guys. The only turn-based game I really got into was World of Warcraft 3. And that's just because like my friend was really into it, Austin, and that's like what we used to play.
Yeah.
And we played like the first versions of Dota actually on that, which I didn't realize was Dota back then. That shows you I'm a real dork.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've tried. I don't even remember the name of it, but I tried one RTS.
Dawn of War?
No, I tried one RTS.
StarCraft?
No.
Command and Conquer?
No, I tried. You can keep listing them. I mean, hey, like
Warhammer. I know all the.
All right, good.
Hey,
great.
Real
good
nerd.
test of knowledge. It wasn't Warhammer. It was an RTS
I'll give
game.
you a Warhammer.
It was. I mean, yeah, I know. It was like a World War II game.
Ooh, Company of Heroes.
Yes, it was Company of Heroes.
Fucking dude, I know everything.
That was what it was.
Company of Heroes was a really good one because it looked really good.
Then he calls you guys dorks.
That's why I can call them dorks because I'm a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And then the final release date, what came with a dope ass trailer, is Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that trailer
Summer
is
of 2020.
nice.
That looks very good. The game looks excellent. The combat style, as Mark said, he teased earlier though, is a little frustrating to him.
It's so the
Not necessarily combat style, but how they're describing
the
it.
way that gaming media describes it is frustrating. So what I was saying is before that though, yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks
besides the negative thing we're
Yeah.
gonna say, the trailer itself looks amazing. The
Yeah.
story seems to be a little interesting. It seems like we're gonna be playing this guy that people thought died on a battlefield, and he's coming back to incite revenge.
Ghost himself.
The ghost himself. Also, a little interesting fact. I don't know if it was probably last E3, not the most recent one, but the one that Sony actually last went to.
Yeah.
They did. Sucker Punch did confirm that they're gonna have full Japanese audio tracks, which I'm definitely playing this game in Japanese with subtitles.
As
and
you should.
You can play this game in black and white, and the blood being the only thing you see is red.
Oh, that's
which
really cool.
Which watching it, I'm like, yeah, I see that. Like
That'll be like
really
a second
fucking
playthrough
good.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but the settings
Go.
look really, really cool in that. Like all the foliage and
Visuals,
stuff.
beautiful.
Seeing like the flowers from the trees and all of that come off look really nice. What I was saying though is that the whole comparison of just if you see like third person melee combat, that it's like, oh, it's Souls like. And I'm bringing that up because not only is obviously we've heard that so many times in separate reviews, this and that, and different
people
places.
said that Star Wars combat was Souls-like, which it is. It is.
Yeah.
I played it, and it's a difficult game.
Some are fair enough, but some others are a little bit more far-fetched. Like there's Star Wars with yes, I've absolutely heard that. Ghost of Tsushima, I've heard it, even though it was a trailer, and they don't really give you a gameplay perspective. And then also, which I'll get into later in the show, but the PlayStation State of Play, even for the short time that Babylon Fall, which was mentioned, which actually get that out of the way now. There's a trailer for Babylon Fall, which is like the Square Enix and Platinum Games game that they're both working on that was revealed 2 E3s ago, and they showed some gameplay for it, and it looks cool.
Souls-like.
Exactly. It's third-person melee combat, so they're like, oh, it looks Soulsy, but just I feel like you can just say third-person melee combat because.
But I think they're incorporating that because I think Souls.
But Platinum, the thing is, that's what I'm saying. For like Jedi
It's
Fallen
weird
Order,
when you
it
said
makes
because you
sense.
said Platinum Games, so that's where
Platinum has
that's
their
where it
own
doesn't make
style
sense
to me.
because Platinum Games does have a different style of pace.
And also,
Platinum
like-
and Devil May Cry are very similar
I
in
was
the
gonna
fact
say,
where it's
yeah.
like it's combo based. It's like not mashing buttons, but kind of a little bit of mashy.
It's like quicker.
It's very fast compared.
It's less on. Well, I know it could be argued with Bloodborne is more on the aggressive side. Like the more you're into it, kind of the less you get hurt. But
I think Bloodborne, Sekiro, and even the Star Wars, they're new takes on the Souls-like combat.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily. They have their DNA is in Souls, but it's very different. Especially in Jedi, because Jedi that's the game I have the most experience with that people compare to a Souls-like. The combat is. I played on a Jedi Master, which is a little bit hard, so the game was harder.
Yeah.
But it's more forgiving. It's also you have more movement with the character because Jedi's faster. It's not like a slow monster in Bloodborne or an old knight. So in this Ghost of Tsushima game, your guy seems to be moving fast, so it's kind of weird. I think the combat is probably going to be more akin to Jedi's Fallen Order.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks really good.
Which I like because I love Jedi Fallen Order.
And I'm excited for it because they basically took a whole generation to make this game.
Yeah, basically because they haven't released a game since 2014 with
First Light.
Second Son. First Light was the expansion.
Yeah.
Second Son. But yeah, so that was the final release date, and then just a few other things that were announced at Game Awards. Fast and Furious Crossroads.
I saw that they were actually there.
Yeah, I had to think about that. And my notes I have here, it looks like a PS3 game,
Yeah,
and
it
Vin
looks
Diesel
bad.
and Michelle Rodriguez made me feel very weird.
Yeah, it looks bad visually. I don't know if it looks as bad as the Showdown one that they have, but like it looks real bad.
It legit looks like a PS3 game.
Yeah.
And then Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel were fucking weird as fuck on stage.
Yeah.
They have like this weird relationship where it's like, are you guys fucking or not? Like, what's going on here?
Because that's how we see them, because the movies.
No, but they like even them, they're like, yeah.
Vin Diesel's so short, too. I don't know. It's just
like,
weird.
yeah, Vin, I love you, man. We used to stay up all night. We were real gamers playing Street Fighter. Yeah.
Oh, they said that?
Yeah.
That's kind of cringy.
They're like, and then Vin Diesel's like, these are our people. And I'm like, this dude's wearing a fucking muscle t-shirt and he's like 180 pounds of fucking rock steel.
Yeah.
You act like you're like a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he can't be a gamer.
Yeah.
Because I have
You can be
abs.
whatever
I
you
have
want.
abs of steel and I'm a gamer.
Yeah, he's just wearing a shirt, that's all.
I'm just wearing a long
It's
sleeve
not a
shirt
muscle
because I'm not
tee,
trying
but-
to be intimidating.
Yeah.
But and then the final thing that made me that's gonna make me look like a huge fucking nerd, and me and Mark both look like nerds, is The Wolf Among Us 2. I wrote got me wet as fuck.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't make me look like a nerd because I don't really give a fuck what anyone says. We actually had we did a Patreon exclusive episode a long time ago where
long time ago.
Yeah, where we talked
Galaxy
about
far, far
the
away.
basically gaming sequels that we want, but we never figured would come out or see the light of day. And because of Telltale's demise, as their studio was kind of like,
when it closed down.
When
and
they closed
now
down.
it reopened under a new branch or whatever.
yeah. So I thought that game was never going to come out, but apparently, as soon as this announcement was out there were rumors, I guess, before that this game was already in the works. Just obviously had never been announced. There were no leaks or anything, but there is a tiny announcement trailer that did come with this, and I watched it a couple of
Oh
times.
my
'cause,
God, it was
dude,
so
the art
good.
style looks so good.
I love. As
too.
soon as I saw like the gin bottle, I was like, "No way, is this
Yeah.
really what it is?" And then I saw the cigarette, and then she said "Big B," and I was like, "Ah,
That's
shit!"
fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, and that's my favorite Telltale game of all time. Is the first.
It's
season of
definitely up
that.
there with me. It's
And like they have a bunch of great stuff. Like don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I'm not
the
gonna.
Batman series were very strong.
Yeah.
Borderlands, obviously Walking Dead.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna for a minute act like Walking Dead season 1 didn't like rip me apart. But
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us, I don't know, it's just something
it
special.
just hit different.
It just makes me smile.
The world
I'm so
is so
excited
cool.
about it.
The
Like,
Wolf Among Us world was
Yeah.
it's such a unique thing, and I honestly wanted to read the comic books,
mhm.
but then I realized I'm not a fucking dork.
Yeah, the graphic novels. Yeah, I'll stick to playing the games. But yeah, no, that's exciting. It's really exciting. They didn't give a date with that. They just kind of announced it, saying like, "Hey, it's coming." So
Yeah,
be excited.
I'm
And
super
I-
interested in that.
We're wet.
I'm super wet.
Yeah. Got that drip.
Got that super Ahsoka hit that she Fifi. I'm just kidding.
But it does look good. I mean, I know it was a gameplay or anything, but like there doesn't need to be gameplay. It's basically just story.
Yeah, I'm
So however
interested.
it looks
I hope they don't like release it episodically. Just release it one big thing for me.
You know, I forget about that, and I don't like that you mentioned that, and I kind of want to kill you. I had like all my excitement, and then I didn't remember the fact
because
that
I know, but
because
that-
I think for a lot of them, I would just kind of
I always wait to the end,
and then
anyways,
just play the
'cause
whole
also,
season.
Here's a fucking pro tip: you wait to the end. They always have a sale where it's like you
Way
save
cheaper.
like $10 or $15 on it. You buy the whole season, and you get all the games you play back to back. I mean, I would pay full price.
And you don't have to wait. You don't have to finish each episode and then be like, let me
Yeah, I
wait
kind
2
of
or
like to
3
binge it
months.
like a Netflix show or something like
Yeah.
that.
Because each episode traditionally, I don't know,
Hour
if
and a
they've
half,
changed
2
it.
hours,
Exactly.
like
It's
a
not
movie.
very long.
Each
Yeah.
episode's like a movie. So I would just like play it like a night, like a movie a night.
Mhm.
Oh man, I kind
a
of want
good
to
way
play.
to do it, yeah.
I want to play Wolf Among Us.
And it's cool too because I love seeing like all the stats, seeing like what you picked, what I
Yeah.
picked, what the general population has picked.
70% of people smack the fucking guy in the face with the bottle.
Yeah,
I didn't do that though. I'm a nice guy.
that's a good game. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
I'm excited too. The Game Awards overall, very good.
Mm.
They did the best they can. I know a lot of things are held secret because of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. There's a lot of both companies are holding things
Yeah,
close
I'm
to
sure
the
they have
vest.
a lot of stuff they're working
So they
on.
did the best they could with the announcements they got.
I thought the announcements were pretty sweet.
They're very strong announcements, but
Mhm.
the Xbox One X Series X reveal was probably the biggest one out of all
See,
of them.
and that's the thing. Even though you just said that, that's why I'm saying the Series X name doesn't work that well because
Because I
there's,
fucking fucked it up already.
there's already an Xbox One X. So like just because you just keep the letter X in there doesn't mean like, oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll get used to it. We
We'll
complain
see.
about Xbox One
I
forever.
mean, I bitched about the Call of Duty being called Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
but
and you
here
love
we
it.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fine. You're right. But let's get a timer pulled up
Timer
because we
pulled
got
up.
the Game Awards done out of the way, and we've got to give you the movie review that we are now promising you every week, which I did tell you about if you checked out our Instagram account. So if you go to Instagram at the HUD Gaming. You can follow us there so you'll be up to date on everything that we're doing, stupid memes that we post, and just what we're doing in our general everyday lives. And we'll tell you what movies we're watching so that we can spoil them for you. And
if you don't want to get this Disney animated classic spoiled for you, we're going to spoil the shit out of Zootopia.
yeah.
So skip ahead like 5-8 minutes, and
8 minutes.
8 minutes, whatever. Even though
Because
it's a
we'll probably
5-minute
run a little
review,
bit over
but
anyway.
just save yourself. Just do it 8 minutes, so you don't want. There's so many narrative beats in this movie you don't want to be ended
Yeah.
or spoiled.
This movie is so plot thick that you don't want to.
Not the only thing that's thick in the movie.
All right, let's get this review going. Go ahead and click that button, boy. Let's get this timer going. All right, so that Bunny and Boo. No, I mean,
Judy Hopps,
Zootopia came out in
2016.
2016 has Jason Bateman as the fox, and I don't know any
Nate
other,
Wilde.
I don't know any of the other people, but
I don't know who the main girl was. She
Yeah.
she has a very nice voice.
Mm.
So what do you think about the movie? I know you had more negative
I didn't
opinions
really
than
like
me.
it.
You didn't really like it. Why did you
Yeah.
not like it?
So I like Pixar.
Because I liked it.
I like Pixar movies a lot, but I don't have like the Disney logo tattooed on my ass. So like, I like Pixar movies because I feel like they're movies that appeal to both people of like our age, people of like a younger generation, and people who are like older.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when they try to give off like these heavy themes that are going in Pixar movies, they'll say it, but they don't have to kind of like shove it down your throat.
Mhm.
I feel like when I was watching Zootopia, and this kind of goes with other like Disney movies too, when they're trying to give you the message of like, I don't know, don't give up or like, don't let your dreams go down. You don't have to tell me that shit 4 or 5 times for me to know what you're
Yeah.
saying. Like, I understand Judy is trying to be a cop, and it's not traditionally in bunnies to do that, and they normally work on the carrot farms and stuff. And I was like, all right, she's facing adversity, she needs to get over that. But every fucking time during that movie when they said that, I was like, all right, I get it, let's go, like, come on, speed this up. But besides that, I mean, it did look really good.
I really liked this
I know
movie.
the GIF artist had like loved that shit.
Who?
Yeah, it's like people that make furry porn.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I liked it. Not
Oh
for that,
wow.
not for that reason, but I really did like the movie. I liked the Judy Hopps character. I love
Yeah.
all the names for the character, like Nate Wilde.
Yeah,
They had great names.
the stuff with the animals is cool. I like shout out BoJack Horseman. I like it when they have shows or movies where it's like animals, and because they're animals, each of them have like their own
Distinct
quirks.
traits. Like
I
they
do
have
think, yeah.
that. I like that a lot. Like all the animals, obviously they're all anthropomorphic. They're like humans. But they
Yeah.
also have still their animal traits, like all the wolves howled and stuff like that.
And there's the one scene where they go to like the naked bathhouse.
dude, that was awesome.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. This movie
was it Chong? It was Chong, right?
Yeah, it was Chong from
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong. That was the fucking yak. I think
Yeah.
that's what that animal is.
It's like, oh yeah, man.
Oh man,
She's got a great memory. She'll probably remember. It was that black car with the license.
The silver car with
Oh
the-
yeah, man. Yeah.
But yeah, so that movie, I liked it a lot. I also liked the little mouse guy that was like the Godfather thing. I think
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of little touches to
I
this
did
movie
like that a lot. That's true.
that I was like, overall, I understand what you're saying. It was a little heavy-handed at
Mr.
times.
Big.
Mr. Big, he's super small mouth.
I thought he actually did a pretty good impression. Too.
Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. I really like this movie. I really like Judy like as a protagonist.
I'm trying to think. There was the Godfather.
But, oh wait, this is something. There's another reference. They had a Breaking Bad reference.
That's what I was gonna
the
say.
Walter and
I was gonna
Jesse.
say,
I was like, oh shit.
there was another reference that I did really like.
The
in that.
Walter
It
and
was when
Jesse when they
go
were doing the
down-
drug thing at the end, where they found like
The Night Howlers.
The Night Howlers.
Yeah, when they're making the flowers, and then I thought that was super cool
That
too.
was really cool. So,
That's it, yeah.
so they did they threw a little nods for like older people that watched
That's
this.
true. I did
So-
I did appreciate those.
So I liked that a lot. The first thing I did when the movie was ended, I wanted to see if there's Zootopia 2, and there's rumors that it's coming out next year,
I mean,
or next year, or the spring of
I
2021.
think it would be good. I wouldn't say. I mean, I think.
I really enjoy it. I like the message. I think that the characters. I
Yeah.
thought I like the character arcs of each of the characters. I thought at one point the movie was gonna end like 90 minutes in when she figured out the case and found all the animals, and I liked that there was like more to
The
it than
twist,
just
yeah.
that. So that's where that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It flipped it on its head. I thought like the little sheep girl that was like the assistant nurse became a nurse, and then she actually became the bad
Yeah,
guy.
I thought that twist was cool, and I did like the fact that it's like, okay, we're like the prey, so we have to kind of team together or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So she was kind of pushing Judy's agenda the whole time to get her in power, and then once she did, it's like, oh shit, well now Judy's gonna take me down. So that was cool.
The one thing that was weird, the one thing that I thought was really bad in the movie and really weird was speaking of Shakira's character, the gazelle,
Oh yeah.
or is the gazelle or whatever.
It was a gazelle.
That
Yeah.
was weird. I didn't like that at all.
You didn't like
To
the
her, I didn't like. Nah, she's not a bad singer,
the
but I
app
didn't.
with her.
Yeah, the
dancing and
app
just
with her.
their
That was
faces
funny.
on
That
it.
was a funny joke.
Mm.
But I didn't like when they had her like throughout the whole thing as like a
As
little
like an icon
character.
kind of
yeah.
thing, yeah.
It's like, I can
Yeah,
do
it was
it
whatever.
Oh, I love also something about it. Speaking of video game, we're a video game podcast. It felt really video gamey. The world is like, here's the jungle.
When I saw that, I was like, it's
and
very
ice.
like,
I was like,
kinda
that's really
Battle
cool.
Royale.
Yeah.
Like, here's a map. Here's these different locations. I did think the same thing.
That was
but
really cool.
we're down our 30 seconds here. We've got to give you a verdict. I'll let you go ahead and start with the verdict.
I think it's not a Netflix and chill movie.
By the way, we do must watch Netflix and chill or don't watch.
I think you have to watch.
All right, I think it's don't watch.
Don't watch. Okay.
Or
You
a
have to
Netflix and chill if you're into that kind of thing and you want to watch the screen while you're doing the business.
I mean, Judy Hopps is an attractive bunny.
If you're a filthy fuck.
She can hop on it.
But I don't know. Overall, I thought it was
It was a good movie, I think.
we're mixed on it, but that's fine to have opposing opinions. We both appreciate some things about it. Good references.
But by the way, I was thinking about our next movie we should do because little behind the scenes BTS. We'd like to switch our services from where you watch the movies. Like we picked a Disney Plus movie this week because so by the way, you can watch this movie on Disney Plus, FYI.
Yeah.
If you have a membership to that. Last week we did mid-90s from Amazon, and then our first movie, Scott Pilgrim, was from Netflix. So we're going to go back to Netflix now. And I was thinking we should do the new Ryan Reynolds movie that came out.
6 Under?
Yeah,
Yeah, great. We'll do 6 Under.
6 Under.
We'll post that on our Instagram if you already listened to this and you already know, but be on the lookout for that. That episode will be coming out sometime next week. We will talk about that. But then also, a good time to remind you, if you are listening or if you are watching us on YouTube, first of all, we appreciate it. Thank you for making it this far into the episode, and we've got a little bit more for you. But you can subscribe, which helps us out a lot. And if you click the notification bell, you'll be notified when episodes come out. And if you enjoy the episode, dropping a like really helps us. And if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast, you can also follow to be notified when these things come out. But now I will do a quick run through because we are already running a little bit long. I've got for you, what are you looking at? I'm looking at Justin. Is this long or is it not long? Is the timer off? Or that's pretty accurate, right? All right. So we're going to cruise through the PlayStation State of Play,
PlayStation.
which was very exciting, and it came out on Tuesday. First up, and probably the most important thing really, is Project Resistance itself was teased as a multiplayer game, an asymmetrical 4 versus 1 game against...
Oh, I forgot we didn't even talk about this.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this shit's exciting.
This is big news, yeah.
That's why we got a lot of news this week.
Yeah.
Project Resistance would be the multiplayer game that was asymmetrical 4v1 against Mr. X, but in a nice series of events, it's actually really just the multiplayer portion of Resident Evil 3, which we knew it was coming because we had talked about it on the show last episode with the leaked images that were on the PlayStation Store. So Resident Evil 3 will come with that Project Resistance bundled together as one game. And it will be actually returning on April 3rd, 2020, which is great. There's a trailer that you can watch now. The only thing I have to say about it is I'm sure it's third person, but there's one part that looks first person, and I just hope it's not. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And also, I do like that the trailer doesn't show Nemesis because
We haven't played that game.
We haven't played that game. I never played
all these
Resident
Resident
Evil
Evil remakes are like new games for me and Mark because
Yeah.
we didn't play them.
2 and 3 were really the ones that I never played.
I
All of the
I
other
played
ones in the
1.
series I played. I played 1, I
And
played
7.
4, I played like the off ones like 0 or
Yeah.
like so those offshoots I've tried, but 2 and 3 I never tried. But I want like a Mr. X moment. You know, I want to walk in a room and Nemesis comes in and I just like shit myself.
So yeah, this game I'm super excited for. Resident Evil 2 is definitely, I know it's Mark's game of the year.
it's
It's in my
definitely my
like
game of
top
the year.
2 or 3. I gotta like narrow it down.
Yeah.
But so it looks like it's the same engine. That RE engine is beautiful. Like all
It
the
is
games
real nice.
look really good in it. Whether it's first person or third person, I would like an option because I didn't mind the
That would
first
be
person
cool.
in Resident Evil 7. To be
Yeah.
honest, I like it was a change of pace. But I would prefer options. Obviously, the more options you have, the better.
Yeah.
Because I like the Resident Evil 2 third person.
That's my thing, because like with Resident Evil 7, I think the first person is great because it's like they want to make a creative choice and it's a new game. But since RE3 is a remake, I do want it to be third person or at least have the option.
They
for
would
it
give
to
you
be
that
third
option.
person,
I don't
yeah.
think that they would just put
Take
it
it
in
away.
first person
I
because
agree.
that's a lot.
It would
And
be a
also
lot.
a little RE2 news, which is kind of weird that they have a teaser for the new demo.
Mm.
And the Resident Evil 2 demo they released last year. I guess they updated the demo somehow, but now when you beat the demo, it's a teaser for Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
That's what I mean. It probably just shows how it's linked somehow.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, that's an exciting announcement. We've got that. We talked about it a little bit before, but the game that Square Enix and Platinum Games are developing, Babylon's Fall, there is a gameplay trailer out for it. If you want to see that and decide for yourself if it's Platinum Games like or if it's Souls like, that's your debate. Predator Hunting Grounds, there was actually a trailer that showed a little bit more about the gameplay and like character customization. So it shows different kind of classes that you can customize for the Predator.
And these are, by the way, Predator Hunting Ground is made by the same people who made Friday the 13th.
Elphonic Games, yeah.
Yeah, Elphonic.
So they have, there's like different kind of Predators. There's like the female ones. They have, you can change like your head or your masks, your gear, what kind of weapons you have. And then of course it's a 4v1. And so your soldiers are like kind of like carrying out a mission when you do it. I don't know a whole lot about it except for they showed a pre-order bonus was a minigun. So if you're interested in that, you'll get that. I wonder if you're going to be able to play as like
Arnie.
Huh?
Arnie. Because Arnie was in the first
Predator. Yeah, Arnie was in the first one. Yeah. That'd be cool if they had him like as a guest.
Yeah, like that'd be nice if he's like a little side character.
You get like a kill streak or something and he like comes
I'll be back.
That would be really nice. The Untitled Goose Game is going to be coming to PlayStation 4 on December 17th.
Game of the year.
Huh?
Game of the year.
Game of the year. I mean, I don't know how it was.
Game of the century. I've been looking at all these fucking Game of the Decades lists. I'm like, yeah, why is Goose Game not number one?
Yeah, some bullshit. But Dreams, which is the game by Media Molecule, who has been working on this for a really long time and kind of been
about 8 years at this point.
Yeah, not necessarily early access because it has been. Well, I mean,
it is early access. That's how they stated it.
Yeah, people can use it and they can create stuff, and the stuff that they've been able to create with it is extremely interesting if you want to look that stuff up. Or we'll probably link at least one or two interesting things that there are because people have created whole games in there with like dialogue options and like branching stories and that kind of stuff.
You had a nice watch on, by the way.
Thank you.
I looked at it. I was like, nice watch.
I appreciate that. This game will be coming out on Valentine's Day 2020.
Oh, perfect.
So you can enjoy this.
I'll definitely be alone, so I'll just create a reality where people love me.
You can create your date night in Dreams.
That's nice. I'll do that.
On February 14th, 2020. Spellbreak, which is a spell/magic battle royale game, will be coming out in early 2020.
Spellbreak is by Housemarque. Their first non-arcadey game. Mm-hmm. They're dipping their toes into the battle royale genre.
And then Superliminal is also was part of the State of Play. It was a trailer for a game that's a first-person story-based game, but kind of like the way that you look at things makes a big difference. So I don't really know how to describe it, but think like Stanley.
Just the way you look at it, man.
Stanley Parable kind of thing.
It's all different, man. If you just look at it from a
big head on his shoulders, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It hurts, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Anything else you got for me, man?
I don't have anything else, man. Some VR stuff, but who gives a fuck, man? So Paper Beast Explorer, Dreamlike Ecosystem, and PSVR. Have fun with that.
If you like getting migraines on the regular.
More importantly than all of this stuff, but we'll be super far away, but we need to discuss it, is BioShock.
I can't even hold my excitement.
We will, yeah, you look like you're having a tough time. You're just... But basically, there have been rumors about this before. We've actually talked about this on the show, and it's really not anything concrete, but it's just a little bit of news. This wasn't part of the PlayStation State of Play. This is just a little...
It was released actually like Monday. It was kind of weird. It's like before the Game Awards and everything.
Just a little trinket of news to get some hype going. So basically, a new BioShock is in development. We kind of already knew that 2K had a team working next to, and like literally in the building next to the team that worked on Mafia 3.
Hangar 13.
And they were working on something that they hadn't talked about. We just knew they were working on something. But basically, this new studio, which is called Cloud Chamber, is led by Kelly Gilmore.
Name, by the way.
It is a cool name.
It's definitely BioShock studio
name. It's a good name for that,
Cloud Chamber.
I agree. So it's a new studio led by Kelly Gilmore, who is a veteran of XCOM and Civilization series. Okay. And basically what they said, they have zero details, which is no surprise. Just there's a new BioShock game being worked on. 2K is developing it. Cloud Chamber is the team that's actually behind it. And they will say at least a couple of years out.
Okay.
So they've got no news for you.
So 2022 is what I'm expecting to see.
I'm expecting even later than that.
Really?
Because you have to remember that, and I don't remember the exact date.
But this game, I feel like, has been rumored to be worked on for at least 4 years.
But maybe it was just the formation of the team.
Maybe.
And even if they were formed, you don't even know if they've been working on anything concrete. Basically, they just said,
maybe they just got lost in the cloud chambers, man.
Because the cloud chambers, man, I mean, the people that worked at Irrational Games formed their own studio, but then remember the game that they were working on, I don't think has even come out yet. And Ken Levine's, what he's been working on is just whatever he's working on, he's taking his time.
It's the next generation.
Exactly. So, and it's worth noting that the last entry in BioShock series was BioShock Infinite back in 2013, meaning that they skipped an entire generation. So,
oh yeah, that's true.
They are taking their sweet time here, but looking at the light at the end of the tunnel. Some point in time, there will be a new Bioshock quickly.
There's always a lighthouse.
What setting do you want? I don't know. That's the thing I'm most conflicted on. Cloud Chamber sounds great, but I don't know if I want more Columbia. And I don't know if I want more Rapture, because Rapture is extremely nostalgic. Yes, it's my PSN name.
I'm always down to go back to Rapture.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a cheap whore.
It's nostalgic, and it's very Bioshock.
Yeah,
it is
that
the
is
essence of what it is.
The first 2 games take place there. Even though Bioshock 2 was not developed by Irrational Games, which it gets a lot of unnecessary shit in my opinion.
It's still a fantastic
Because
game.
I like replayed it when the collection came out, and I was like, why did I not like this game? This game is amazing. This game is still amazing. It's just not like a masterpiece. Like,
it's like a 9.9, not a 10.
Exactly. Like Bioshock 1 is my favorite game of all time, and Infinite is like a top 5 game for me too. Like those games are special, but Bioshock 2 is not a bad game at all. It's a great game.
It does get too
so
much
that's
love.
why I'm really not that like nervous about this game, because I'm not expecting it to be better than the original.
But
if you go in with that expectation, you're destined to be upset with this game, and
that's true.
Be like, so just go with that. It's not gonna be as good as that, but where the setting takes place, they did.
For me, that's the most important thing, honestly, about these whole games. Yes, they have a great story. Yes, they have a great soundtrack, but
yeah, it's always
really
tied to the location.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe like space.
Like it could be, yeah.
It could be space. The Cloud Chambers. I don't know that the hint. But I don't really want to go back to Columbia, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to
Columbia,
go back to Columbia. I'd much rather go back to Rapture.
Not that Columbia was a bad setting, but it's like,
we explored it. That was the last thing we explored.
Yeah. And it's kind of like destroyed where we left it.
That's true.
That makes no sense to go back there.
Yeah, I feel that too.
I don't know why I slipped into those accents.
I feel like if they were to do like space, I feel like it would be cool to do like B-list 60s shitty sci-fi movies,
like
kind
Outer
of a
Worlds.
Setting. Yes.
Just like Outer Worlds.
I feel like that would be a cool setting to do.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see like who so the big thing with Bioshock is always the antagonist and the setting.
Yeah.
So we had Andrew Ryan, and who's the guy from Comstock?
Comstock, yeah.
Who was actually Booker DeWitt. Spoilers.
Yeah, it's a fucking Jesus Christ. All right.
It's the game came out fucking what, 7 years ago?
You're good. I am Jesus Christ. Available on Steam soon. All right. It was just a paid advertisement. We're here.
Should multiplayer be on fucking story games?
Honorable mention. Things are getting hot.
Dude, yeah, I'm sweating my ass off.
All right, well then let's wrap this show up. You got one last story for us, and then
last little news tidbit. MLB The Show, which is a PlayStation exclusive. It's been a PlayStation exclusive for a long time. They have exclusive rights with the MLB. It's made by Sony San Diego, and they basically make this game every 8 months, and it's kind of on the level of 2K.
They make this game every month?
Every 8 months is the dev cycle.
Oh, okay. Wow, that is short.
Yeah. So, because it's an annualized sports game. And this game is like on the same like level of quality as 2K. It's like one of the best sports games. It's been a PlayStation exclusive for I don't know how many years. I feel like my whole life. But recently they had to renew the license agreements with the MLB. And it seems like it's coming down from MLB that the game now has to be on other platforms. So this will be the first Sony first-party studio game on other platforms. So that's kind of big news.
But it's not Sony's decision.
If
it was Sony's decision, they would say fuck everyone else.
So yeah, here's the thing. I don't think it's Sony's decision, and I think Sony kind of just played ball because they have a studio where that's where they generate a lot of money. Sony San Diego, that game sells well every year. It's the only baseball game.
So they were just like, yeah, we'll just.
So anyway, I think it's kind of a win-win situation where it's like if Sony was like, no, we're not going to do it, then MLB we'll just have we'll sell the rights to EA or some shit. They'll make the baseball game.
Somebody else will take it.
So I guess they made the decision like we'll just keep the cash. Anyways, this baseball game's not. I don't think it's not. It is an identity of PlayStation, but it's not like Nathan Drake is on fucking.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, you had to tell me that kind of I was aware that it had like rights to it, but I wasn't aware like okay, it's made by literally a Sony studio, because to me it's an MLB game, and I see all sports games as being multi-platform because I just don't associate them with one or the other. Yeah,
so that's a big deal that it's the first party game that's going to be on other platforms, which is a little interesting. It's obviously fanboys get all upset and they're like, oh no, we're losing this game. I don't know if it's
all the consoles.
I don't really know if it's just get all the consoles, to be honest. Just ball out like us, right?
That's all I'm saying.
I don't have actually, you have all the consoles. I do not. I don't have an Xbox.
That's all right. You'll get all of them for the next generation.
I'm not curious.
You'll get the Series X and everything.
But so yeah, that was pretty big news. The first party game.
Solid week. We'll have all of the extra details that we didn't want to bore you with here for the Game Awards and State of Play. Honestly, we pretty much summed up, but you can check that out. We'll link the actual video down below. It's only like 28 minutes to watch. It's actually a pretty fun watch. It's just good trailers and gameplay going throughout that. Before we do wrap up the show, we have to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters. So thank you so much, Matt Acevedo, Lacey Perez, George, and Joan Acevedo. If you would like to support the show, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/thehudgaming with that nice clean URL. And these episodes usually come out on Fridays. We are fully aware that today is Saturday, and
we're sorry we're late, but we wanted to cover the Game Awards and well, the State of Play we could have covered, but we would have missed the whole Game Awards, and that we didn't want to wait another week and then be behind and all that stuff. So we just made the decision to release a little bit later, but we're covering everything, and the boys will be back on a regularly program schedule next week.
Yeah, we will be back on for your regular programming next week. But thank you so much for listening. We'll see you right here next week on Heads Up.
Peace.